Henshin Inspection presents Half Boiled. This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. I will be discussing the misses, hits, and questions about or from Fuuto PI Episode 7. This is Half Boiled Episode 7. Fuuto PI Episode 7, which is called The Closed K/Dynamic Duo Deserted, originally aired September 11, 2022. The writer is Riku Sanjo, and the director is Yousuke Kabashima. The one thing I didn't like about this episode was what was Kana doing carrying two blankets out in a blizzard? I find that very suspicious. She supposedly, I mean, we don't know why she was out of the mansion, but she's part of this game, this, marriage competition thing. But she said she's been kidnapped by somebody or being held there against her will. She implied that. And yet somehow she was free and out of there carrying blankets outside randomly for two people when there happen to be two guys out there. Anyway, just very strange. Very strange. I don't get it. Maybe it's part of the larger mystery that we'll see unfold over the next, 2 episodes or 3 more? I'm not sure. Moving on to the hits. That alcohol Dopant is nasty. Why is that a hit? Why is it some good? Why is it something I like? Because it's gross. I like gross whim. No, I like gross monsters, and it's fun and it's exciting. It's different. It's interesting to see like how far you can push the design of the Dopants. I didn't really get the alcohol thing at first, like the weird eye suspended in the liquid and stuff looks, I guess it kind of reminds me of like a olive in a martini or something, but better than that was like there are, the butts or the bottoms of bottles like sticking out of her gross, alcohol-filled Dopant body. So that was pretty cool. And then I like how much trouble she gave them, she gave Shotaro and Philip because she's drunk. Like, she's so drunk, so inebriated, she can't feel the pain, doesn't mind being set on fire, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's really bizarre, really weird. The only thing I don't like is that, or actually I do have one more miss, which is that, Shotaro got stabbed by Magnera and he had actual wounds. He had an X-shaped wound in his back, and, that was a big problem for him because apparently something like you can't treat Dopant injuries like normal. You just got to let yourself sleep them off or something weird like that. And yet, he set her on fire, and despite the fact that she couldn't feel the pain, I would think that the woman who had been set on fire would have burns. And in a scene that took place shortly after this, we get to see Shotaro and Philip talking to everybody, and nobody has been burned that we can tell. So that doesn't really make sense. Unless it's not one of these people who they were talking to. It could have been somebody else on the staff or something in the building or in the mansion. Moving on to questions. Exactly how big is Fuuto? I don't ever remember seeing mountains around it before when I watched Kamen Rider Double. So, I'm sure there were mountains, but that's all within Fuuto? That doesn't sound right to me. Although, no, I'm in a small town. I'm not like in LA. I'm in Southern California, and I'm pretty close to the mountains, but even when I was a little farther down from where I am now, it would still take a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Well, depending on the traffic. If it was a slow day, you can get up the mountain, no problem. If it was a rare day where it's snowy on the mountains, everybody and their kids is trying to get up there. So it's, minivans and trucks and cars packed with young people and stuff. So really difficult to get up to the mountain. But I guess Fuuto has a mountain adjacent to it that the guys could just get to real quick. If they rode the motorcycle, that's going to get you up the mountain a lot quicker. So, I don't know. Just still seems strange to me because I never really noticed it in the background. They always focus on like the cityscape when they're depicting it in the show. And I don't think they ever talk about there being, especially like there's a resort with hot springs and stuff, like in an old hotel up in a mountain town. Like, okay, sure. I guess I have to believe that. And then another question, was Bando really there by whim or fate? Because he, in his in his self-dialogue, he seems to imply that the, Gaia memories or people who are using the Gaia memories get brought together somehow by fate or whatever, and that it's, amazing that he's getting this opportunity. So, I don't know, like, is he an old Fuuto person? Does he is he from Fuuto originally? And I mean, that could be something. And maybe that's why he wants the shadow Fuuto, because he's always been involved in like this shady underbelly of Fuuto. And I don't know, that links up with something else, but it just seems kind of odd. I like that he's using a different name. So if he really is, I would assume that when he killed that guy, excuse me, in the last episode, that he would have told him his real name, because, you know, you're going to kill him anyway, so you may as well tell him his name, or tell him your real name. It's not like he's going to be able to tell anybody about it. But here he seems to be going by an alias, and if he's really friends with these people, then why be friends with them under an alias? But then if they are, well, they're not necessarily criminal. They're just kind of an odd, eccentric, wealthy family. So, I don't know. Kind of strange. Moving on, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. It's just getting started, but this is a classic trapped with the murderer story. Surely it is not the lady in the coolie dress. She is likely a red herring, and I'm assuming she will be the third murder victim here, because somebody else was murdered already before the girl who was taunting and whatever, being I don't know, being aggressive about how her beautiful face was going to win her this guy's heart, or whatever, at least win her the marriage. But anyway, yeah, there was somebody else they mentioned. So it was that person, the lady who got stabbed through the chest. And then I think this coolie dress lady will be the next victim. So the episode's decent so far. It was fun to see Philip and Shotaro just hanging out, chasing shrooms. I'm letting the story build and wondering how this story can take 2 more episodes at this point, because I think it's 3 episodes per arc is what we've been seeing, and I don't really see it. I would think this could have been a one and done, or maybe 2 episodes at the most. So we'll have to see exactly what they do to turn it into 3 episodes, because I think that could be a bit of a stretch. Now, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent, because I was trying not to be a jerk about calling that lady's Chinese dress a coolie dress, and I did a little bit of research, and in the spirit of Kamen Rider Double and Philip, my boy Philip, I figured me sharing some of my research wouldn't be a bad thing. So here we go. I looked it up, and while there is such a thing as a coolie hat, there is no coolie dress, which I find surprising. I'm confident I have heard that before. By the way, the coolie hat is the, Kung Fu Panda wears the hat, the guy from, this is our wildly inappropriate Ninja Scroll. Like the gap between what Kung Fu Panda and Ninja Scroll are so vast that it's an insult and a disgrace that I just compared the 2 of them together. But whatever. Dude from Ninja Scroll's wearing one in the beginning of the show. What is his name? Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I don't know who else. In the beginning of Rurouni Kenshin, he's shown fighting 3 guys in coolie hats, and they all have cool weapons, and he's fighting them like a field or whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The classic traditional Chinese hat. And then I believe the thing where the rickshaw is also called a coolie cart. But anyway, I think the coolie is Chinese. It's code for Chinese or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm confident that I've heard it called a coolie dress before. When I looked it up, I saw it referred to as a cheongsam or cheongsam. It looks like chino or cheonggasm, but I know it's not that. It's cheongsam, but it's also called like a QIPAO, I believe. But anyway, I'm pretty sure Shotaro in the show literally said China dress. Like in the Japanese, he said China dress, which matches my understanding that it is called a coolie dress, which, like I said, the coolie stands for China or Chinese. And I wonder who was involved in the subbing choice to call it a flashy dress instead. They were all dressed flashy except for Kana. And why not go with like the Chenoksam dress or the Chinese dress in the subtitles? It just seemed kind of odd to me. I know people have made a fuss about, I don't know, Funimation or other dubbing or subbing, anime licensees changing stuff around to be, to fit an agenda or whatever. And I don't know, is that what this was? It seems odd. It seems like a very odd thing to try to fix. I just kind of think it was a weird choice. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. For now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Check out my analysis of Don Bros 28 as well as Kamen Rider Geats Episode 2, and I will be sticking with both of those shows, so expect a Don Bros 29 and Geats Episode 3 analysis coming soon, and check back on mgwinners.com to find progress on everything I'm reviewing, as well as art, because I am participating in Toku Temper as well, so I'll be slowly posting all my drawings up there, and you can also get updates on my children's picture book inspired by Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Anyway, this is MJ. I leave you with peace and blessings. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can find more at mjmunoz.com, as well as my entire library of analysis, art, and fiction.